Sarah Hobson with Rhinebeck School of Music, and in this lesson we are going to do a crash course in chord melody. So what is chord melody? Chord melody is literally playing the chords and the melody to a song at the same time, so you have this fuller arrangement. Like if I'm playing at a solo gig or a wedding gig or something like that, the melodies are nice, but unless you have chords underneath them, then that sounds a little more full of an arrangement and people are going to really relate to the song. So I'm going to do Puff the Magic Dragon, one that everybody knows. It's a fairly easy chord melody with the exception of a few chord inversions, which we'll talk about too. So I'm going to go line by line. First we're going to learn the melody and how it relates to the chords. And then we are going to put it together as a chord melody. So line 1 of just the melody is going to be 3rd fret on the A string to 2nd fret, and then 3rd fret on the E string. So puff the magic dragon. Notice the chords over top of that are C and E minor, right? So now if we play this part with the C chord, now it sounds more full. You have a chord melody. So you have. Now the next part of the melody goes, and that's over an E minor chord. So your E minor chord is like this. So all you have to do is. So you don't want to strum a chord on every part of the melody because that would be a little bit muddy if you were like. You kind of want some definition there. So I a lot of times when I'm playing chord melodies, sort of alternate between chords and single notes. So I'll play this line again from C to E minor. Okay, now the next line is going to be 0, 3, 3 on the A string, and then 3 on the E string. So lived by the sea. And sometimes it helps to kind of sing the melody so that you know the rhythm of it and you kind of have in your head as to what exactly you're playing. So notice over that part we have an F chord, right? So with this open A on the bottom, I've got F, and then I just reach up to grab that 3rd fret, or I can use my pinky. And then when I play the C, I want to make sure that this is my melody note, not this, because my melody note is this 3rd fret on the E string. Okay, so it's technically a C5 chord. All right, and then the next line goes on the E string, 1, 1, 3, 1, 0, 3, and then 3 on the A string. All right, so we have the F chord again. So we don't want to strum all the way to the bottom A because that is not the melody note. The melody note is the 1st fret on the E string. So you only want to strum till there. So, and again, if I use my pinky, then that's a little bit easier to grab as opposed to going. So we got. And then I can do the C chord up until that open E string there because that's the melody note. Now this is what's called a chord inversion. This is an A minor. So we know this as a G minor shape when it's here. So that's what's called a movable chord. You can move this around the fretboard. So if this is a G minor, this is a G sharp minor, this is an A minor, A sharp minor, B minor, C minor, etc. So because this C, you could play the open A minor and put this 3rd fret in there, but this is a little bit richer sounding, a little bit more interesting. So I'm inverting that chord, that A minor chord, into the next position, and then the D7 with the open A. Now when I go up to this 5th fret, this is probably an inversion of G7 you've never done either. So I'm barring the 5th fret and I'm adding the 7th fret on the E to get this 5th fret melody note. So that's probably the hardest part of this is right, because those are probably chords you're not used to, this one, but it's just the G minor shape moved over, and then this is just another way to play G7. So if you're really serious about chord melody, you might want to consider learning inversions of your chords, learning how to play C all over the fretboard, how to play all these different chords, because it really helps if you have to reach these higher notes and create a melody that way. All right, so let's go to the next line. It gets easier from here. So you have 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. Same again, right? From the C to the E minor. And then, so we have the F. And then this note has to go in the melody of the C chord. So you may have to alter your chords in some way rather than just thinking of a C as a C. You might have to add different notes into your chords sometimes to get the right melody note over the chord. I mean, luckily this one it's pretty much in tune with like the normal chords anyway. We haven't really altered too much, but sometimes that has to happen if you're playing a chord melody. And now the last line, back to that F chord. So that's the melody to the last part. So we have the F, C, A minor, D7, G7, C, G7, right? Bottom strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh. So these little endings are going to be where it's trickier because the chords go by a little more quickly. So just take it slowly. Right? Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh. So that's a crash course in basic chord melody. Like I said, if you want to do more with chord melody, I recommend you start learning your inversions of your chords up the neck and how to play each chord all over the fretboard, because that'll really help with your chord melody skills. This is just a basic example. There's plenty more where those came from. Hope you've enjoyed playing this. Hope you've learned something. If you haven't already, visit rhinebeckschoolofmusic.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel and become a patron. Patreon.com/Rhinebeck School of Music. See you at the next one.